2. The Law of the Jungle, the Rule of Law. In today's pluralistic societies, where various religious, cultural, and ideological orientations coexist, it is becoming ever more difficult to guarantee a common basis of ethical values shared by all and capable of providing a sufficient foundation for democracy itself. Very many people are indeed convinced that we cannot do without a minimum of moral values that are recognized and sanctioned in social life. But the substance of such values increasingly evaporates the more we struggle to attain the consensus they must obtain on the level of society. One single value seems not to be the object of discussion, since it is indisputable and has therefore become a filter through which every other value is passed, namely, the right of the individual to express himself freely without any impositions from outside himself, at least so long as his freedom does not infringe on the rights of others. This is how the right to abortion is invoked as a constitutive element in the right to liberty on the part of the woman, the man, and society itself. The woman has the right to continue her professional work, to safeguard her reputation, and to maintain a certain standard of life. The man has the right to decide about his lifestyle, to pursue a career, to enjoy the fruits of his work. Society has the right to control the numerical level of the population in order to guarantee its citizens a widespread prosperity through a balanced management of resources, of work, and so on. All these rights are real and well-founded. No one denies that the concrete existential situation in which the decision is reached to have an abortion can sometimes be dramatic. Nevertheless, it is a fact that this claim to exercise real rights is demanded to the detriment of the life of an innocent human being, whose rights are not even taken into consideration. In this way, one becomes blind to the right to life of another, the smallest and weakest person involved, one without a voice. The rights of some individuals are affirmed at the cost of the fundamental right to life of another individual. This is why every legalization of abortion implies the idea that law is based on power. Mostly this happens inadvertently. Nevertheless, it poses a real threat to the very foundations of an authentic democracy based on a stable ordering of justice. The constitutional charters of the Western countries, which are the fruit of a complex process of cultural maturation and of struggles that lasted for centuries, are based on the idea of a stable ordering of justice and on the consciousness that all who share a common humanity are fundamentally equal. At the same time, these documents express an awareness of the profound iniquity that exists when the real but secondary interests of some persons prevail over the fundamental rights of others. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, signed by almost all the countries of the world in 1948, in the aftermath of the terrible ordeal of the Second World War, expresses fully, even in its title, the awareness that human rights, the most fundamental of which is, of course, the right to life itself, belong to man by nature, that the state recognizes them but does not in fact confer them, and that they are applicable to all men as such, not because of other secondary characteristics of particular individuals which others would be entitled to define at their pleasure. It follows that a state that claims the prerogative of defining who is and who is not the subject of rights, and that consequently accepts that some persons have the right to violate the fundamental right to life of other persons, contradicts the democratic ideal, although it continues to appeal to this claim. Such a state imperils the very basis on which it governs. For when it accepts that the rights of the weakest may be violated, it also accepts that the law of the jungle prevails over the rule of law.